Hi everyone, thanks for watching this video today. My name is David, I'm a life coach, and I make these videos to provide information for people who need it that are suffering from different kinds of emotional trauma. Today's video is inspired by a viewer, Emily, from South Africa. Hi Emily. I'll read Emily's question. Now this was a question directed to me in yesterday's, this would be last Monday's question and answer video. She asked me this question and I addressed the first part. The second part is something she's been asking me actually often lately. So I wanted to make a whole video about it. Emily from South Africa says, "Hi David, to you personally, what is the meaning of life?" And I answered that in the question and answer video, but I really want to get to the rest of it. She says, you work yourself almost to death to make a living. And then one day you get up and all of that work is just for nothing. What good is all that struggle and you are still unhappy? Great question. Why don't you answer that? I don't understand how you can just be happy without something like job, success, or money to make you happy. You were taught that. This is taught. If you can just be happy, then how do you earn it? If you can just be happy, then it can be taken away from you. At least if you have money or job success, then you have proof that you are allowed to be happy. Interesting. Thank you, Emily. So I think this is something that most of you guys watching this video struggle with, because a lot of you guys that are watching these videos of mine have experienced narcissistic abuse in narcissistic relationships, which means that you were raised by narcissistic parents who taught you what they wanted to teach you, what they know, and it wasn't the best way for you to discover who you are. So I think that we are told, and we, myself included, have been told who we are rather than being allowed to be who we are or be accepted for who we are. And I think we've been taught by this rule that what's important is what we do, right? Emily thinks what we do is what makes us happy and what's important rather than how we feel, because happiness is a feeling, right? So we think we have to do things to make us happy. And we also put a lot of importance on the emotion happiness. I want to go over needs real quick. We have physical needs, right? Our primary needs: oxygen, food, water, shelter, sleep. And it feels good when we meet our needs. Keeps us alive, right? Fresh, clean air. Try holding your breath for long enough and then breathe. It feels good. We feed ourselves. It feels good to eat food. It feels good to drink water. Really good water. Sometimes water is the most amazing thing in the world to me. I'm like, oh my God, I love water. And I love cooking. I love eating different foods. Love it. And of course, I love my roof over my head and warmth in the winter and cool air in the summer, in the hot summers, and my bed with clean sheets, the best, right? These feel good. These might make us happy, right? But human beings, one thing we have in common is what is truly, truly, truly our needs. And that's emotional needs. And they're much, much more important than physical. We know this from babies. Babies attached to who provides emotional needs, and they don't care who provides physical needs. We know this when we're out alone long enough, when we're stranded on an island or lost out in the woods. We need people, and without it, we die. It doesn't matter if we have food, water, shelter, oxygen, and sleep. We still die. We need our emotional needs met, and they're the most important thing in our lives. So it feels really good to have those met, to have relationships where we feel secure, that the person won't hurt us, won't leave us, won't talk bad about us, will always be there for us, especially when we're down. It feels good to have people in our lives that we have relationships with, to be emotionally attentive to our emotions, to our body, what it's doing. I'm sorry, what can I do to make you feel better? It feels good to have relationships with people where we're emotionally connected with them and we feel like we really, really know them so well. It feels so good to know someone that well, and it feels so good when people know us that well, especially when we feel secure and have emotional autonomy still and privacy. These are the things that are the most important to us. And when we have them met, it's when we feel the best. Then we have wants, like education. Maybe we want education. Maybe we want a fast car. That's fine. Maybe we want a nice suit, some ice cream, sex. And then we have values, okay? And our values these are things that are up to us, just like all of these. But we aren't taught any of this stuff. We have teachers, parents, and they teach us their values, okay? And that's what's happened, and that's what's gone wrong here. Is let me just say, let's just pretend these are some of my values. Respect for myself, respect for others, honesty, integrity, acceptance, loyalty. And then maybe down the list somewhere, I have money and sex and appearance. Yeah, I like to look good. I groom myself. I try to be healthy. I try to look good. I wear nice clothes, some brand names sometimes. I love, I value family, things like this. But they're not at the top of my list. And without us being able to form our own selves and find out what we value and find out what our needs are and find out what we want and things like this and be taught by good teachers, we are taught to be somebody else we are not. And we don't know ourselves, okay? So emotions are like layers of an onion. And it's our body doing things. And we can have anxiety and depression and loneliness. And we can have guilt and fear, okay? At the same time that we have happiness, joy, things like this, okay? At the same time. I can be underlying depression every day, but I might go out with my friend and share that ice cream cone I want. And that makes me feel good. I'm happy for a moment. And then when it's over and my friend drops me off, I'm back to my depression again. Or while I even eat my ice cream cone, I know it's kind of there. I remember my ex or something that hurt me. So the bad ones, the anxiety, the depression, the loneliness, the fear, the guilt, these are caused by relationships almost always. Somehow relationships with people, okay? So we can try to ignore these things and we can do to be happy, but not fix all these other emotions. And so we can do something that makes us happy. We can do something that excites us momentarily. We can do something that brings some joy to our life, but we still have anxiety, depression, guilt, and fear. So a midlife crisis is just this. A midlife crisis is a parent teaching a child what's important and what they value are appearance. This is what makes us happy, is what they're taught. Appearance, education, go to college, get a house, get a car, get married, have children. That's what makes us happy. And it takes a while to achieve these things. And by the time we do these things, we might be in the middle of our life, 40, 50. And then we realize I still have anxiety, depression, loneliness, guilt, and fear. And how do I fix these things? I did everything I had to do. I bought everything I had to buy. I achieved everything I had to achieve. I had job success, career success. I had money. I have... I was trying to think of what else Emily says. And it didn't work. It's not enough. It's not enough. What do I need? There we go. We go back to our emotional needs because we're meeting our physical needs, but we're not meeting our emotional needs. Okay? And so that will be true happiness, right? And so we've got, can't turn the page. So life is much more than happiness. And there's more emotions than just happy. Okay? So I wrote down some. Here's some other ones. Contentment, confidence, surprise, kindness, generosity, gratefulness, satisfaction, inspiration, interest, hope, love, right? Don't hear that enough. I hear happy, happy, happy all the time. We can be happy and we can feel good. All of us who've been miserable because we've been so unhappy, because we felt so bad, we have that contrast. It may not take much, okay? But it's really not all about what we do. It's about our needs met. It's about giving ourselves what we want. It's about feeling better, emotions. It's about sharing our opinion, forming it on our own. And so without the narcissist, we can't be beautiful, because without being sad, we can't be happy. Without being miserable, we can't have joy and excitement. Do you see that? So it all works out in the end, doesn't it? If we want it to. Happiness is a choice. And until we realize that that choice is ours, we can't keep making ourselves happy and we try to make others happy. And tell me the last time someone made you happy, really? Or was it just the time you shared with them? Did they make it? Did they do it? Or did you two do it together? That is my video about happiness. Happiness after narcissistic abuse, after emotional trauma. I suffered from CPTSD for many, 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 many years. And I had fleeting moments of happiness. But now that I don't have depression and anxiety and loneliness and guilt and fear anymore, now I'm happy a lot more. I feel a lot better. And so can you guys, okay? Ask questions, put them down there, share your comments, tell us your stories. They're always great. Thank you. And I hope I answered your question, Emily. Thank you. Love yourself first, guys. Bye-bye.